What up, guys? Back with another video. It is time to start doing some heroes. So we are going to, first of all, get rid of that because that really annoys me. We are going to start with, of course, Dark, because that is what my tournament is about right now. And I've been learning a lot more about these guys. So this is only going to cover S and S plus because A is pointless. The only good A to even worth talking about here would be Crow, but we're not going there. So we are going to go through each one. I'm going to talk a little bit about each one, and basically they're going to be listed in order. For me, this is my personal list of worst to best. You're probably not going to agree, and that's fine, because everybody's got their opinions. And so let's just get cracking. Coming in hot at number 9 is going to be Van Helsing. Now I know I'm getting heat for this one because he's actually pretty awesome. He is a mage. He's mainly known for doing some critical up. He mitigates damage, and his damage via death are his main skills. My problem with him is the fact that his death by damage skill doesn't work. Now I know it works for other people, and I've talked about this in other videos, but for me it does not. And because of that, he's at the bottom of my list. Once that's fixed, it's going to put a wrench in the whole thing. So anyway, the main skills you're going to want to boost on him and make sure his weapons have as extra attributes are basically going to be, attack, obviously, skill damage, critical damage, and if he can, critical up. The higher that is, the more damage output you're going to get from him, and it's actually pretty ridiculous. And when it comes to artifacts, I definitely suggest Primal Power. The attack up every round, mwah, French kiss. I mean, you can also use what's it called? The Eternal Soul. That one's pretty good. Or even Fatal Judgment. I'd say one of those three would be really good on him, all because they all have to deal with attack. The more attack he has, his damage output can be freaking phenomenally ridiculous, especially if he's like one of the last ones alive. Next up, coming in at number 8, is going to be Mike Myers' brother, Tyrone. Just kidding. That was probably really racist of me too. But Mr. Friday. I love Mr. Friday. So if you want to get the most out of Mr. Friday, like you like him and you want to use him, you're definitely going to focus a lot on HP and armor. Probably even damage immune. Stuff like that. He is a warrior. So that's always good. And he's a frontline murderer. So not only do you want him in a front line, and he can help tear apart an enemy's front line. Damage immune and armor up, which only, it's kind of like a pro and a con. Like at the beginning of the battle, it's really good because it's really high. But as people start dying, it becomes really weak. So that's like a downside to it, and kind of I'm like, yeah. Now, if you are going to use Friday, one thing I suggest is giving him some health regeneration on his own. A lot of the other guys do have it on them, but by themselves, and that's kind of what you're going to want to give him. So probably like Fictional Reality or Braveheart. They both regenerate health. There's also Divine Prayer. I don't know if I'd waste it on him though, but I mean, you can always just rotate artifacts. So coming in strong at number 7 is going to be Chuck, the God of Maya. He is a beast in my opinion. He's down on this list though because I find him to be very situational, but the situations I do use him in, he's pretty reliable. He helps a lot with anybody who's Superman, really, especially when it's like a Desert Queen. Now, he's not the end-all to take care of Desert Queen, but my God, his damage output is just French kiss already. So, really quick, I already made a video for this guy, but I didn't really go all deep in detail with him or what you should do with him, but HP armor, pretty much the same as Friday. You want to get that stuff up. Same thing with artifacts and stuff. Because him, like Friday, they don't regenerate health on their own. So they could use some help in that area. If not, and you have enough heal ability to keep him alive, you might want to even give him some of the attack stuff, like I suggested for Van Helsing, like Primal Power or Fatal Judgment, Eternal Soul, whatever. Those all work really good too. Last thing, he hits people in the same row as him. So if you put him in, like say the middle row, he'll hit the boss on the other side. I say boss, but that's only for like X-Force. But he'll hit the two that are directly across him in the middle row. And his thing where he gives himself a second hit in his shirtless, I think it's called. I have to double check. But in his shirtless thing, his basic attack does twice. And his basic attack is pretty freaking remarkable considering. So, yeah. I do like the Chuckster. Next up, taking the solid 6th spot, Ghost Rider. So, Eddie, I have a love-hate relationship with. He's more... I have better luck with him than I do with Chuck, which is why he's ranked above Chuck. But I kind of like Chuck better. But that's neither here nor there. Still going to give Eddie the nod. Same thing as before, attack, skill damage you want to work on, and it definitely effect hit for his burn. So that's definitely a thing you want. I'd give him an attack thing too, like Primal Power, or Fatal Judgment, Eternal Soul again. Maybe Bell of Chaos. Yeah, not much really to say about him. He's a ranger. Oh, and he does reduce heal too, so that's always a good thing to keep in mind. He can help you out. Not so much with Sally, since since Sally would be like strong against him, but the reduced heal would help, nullify some of self-healing. Coming in at number 5 to round out the top 5 is going to be Goneable, the warrior. Now, I don't know why a lot of people don't seem to like him. He seems to be, in my opinion, at face value, a better version of Rockefeller, that is, in case you don't know, or Centaur, or Blaze, depending what you call him. But they're different factions. So, since I'm doing these broken down by factions, since, there's faction Wanted, which is why I'm doing it this way, he's definitely pretty much going to be one of, if not the most wanted for your faction, because he's a great tank. He's basically like Rock, he counters, he stuns, but his attack goes up the lower his HP gets. Rock doesn't do that. And he also heals for how much damage he does. So, it's obviously going to be a good idea to do his HP because of what he is, a tank. Definitely his attack to get the most out of his healing himself. Definitely probably armor. And one thing I would definitely suggest putting on him is the Ring of the Oracle if he can get it. Basically because it makes him immune to all, effects. Can't be like charmed or disabled, all that stuff, which makes him really nasty. So that's Goneable. He's not my favorite one, but he's definitely like one that I can't see not being on a dark faction squad. Coming in at number 4 is going to be Behemoth. I freaking love Behemoth. Another warrior. He's a good guy to have right next to Goneable. I mean, Goneable should still be the tank, even though Behemoth can be a tank. I would put him on one of the flanks. His disarm, his mitigating damage, love it. He also heals his own via basic attack, just like Goneable. So you can make a front line that's actually self-sustaining. Because of that, I would also consider maybe putting the Ring of Oracle on him if you're only using one or the other. If not, I'd put the attack stuff on him. Maybe even the Bell of Chaos to make sure the disarm kicks in more often. But I love Behemoth. It would definitely work on his HP and armor and his effect hit, just like some of the others on this list. Not much really else to say about Behemoth, but because of his synergy with pretty much almost any other dark hero is why I'm putting him right where I'm putting him. Alright, so coming in at number 3 is Medusa, and this one definitely, you can call me out for being biased. She's maybe not the best S in Dark, but she's definitely my favorite. I love her ability to poison and petrify, which is always just mwah. Her attack is based on her HP and attack, so that is something worth keeping in mind. Attack plays a bigger impact. Her health is kind of but she's a beast. I don't care what anybody says. HP, attack, and effect hit, without a doubt, are the 3 things she needs when it comes to stat and attributes, like I've been saying. And the thing that would really help her and makes her phenomenal is Divine Prayer. If you can get Divine Prayer, she's one person that would definitely benefit from it. If not, obviously the other things you could do are attack. That's going to be a prime thing for anybody whose main skill is attack. You don't know what to put on them, and most of, or if not all, of their skills are based off attack. Do attack. So, like your Eternal Soul and all that stuff. Bella Chaos, if you want to get the effect rate up. Fatal Judgment might be really good on her. But yeah, I love Medusa. Now, coming in at 2, which is technically number 1, is going to be Satan. Now, when it comes to first and second place here, I don't know if I really have anything that puts one over the other. So I decided to do alphabetical. And since Satan is S and the next one is the letter A, well, that's my order. This dude needs Eternal Soul. I'm going to say it right off the bat. You need the critical up. Critical damage, and attack are the main 3 stats he needs. I don't care how you get it, just get those. He just basically murders the weakest people on the other team. I'm trying to think, I think it's 50% health when his skills are maxed. But yeah, he basically just does like ridiculous damage to weak opponents. And then on top of it, if he kills anybody, he gets to attack right away again, which is awesome. He's a raider. I think I covered everything about him. I love him. I don't really get to use him much because he's excellent. I can't get a copy of him, but I can see his potential, so that's why I'm also putting him second, because I don't have much experience actually using him in practice. And coming in at number 1 is going to be Anna, the mage. Obviously, she's a mage. She charms. I love it. Her heal is based on her attack. She reduces healing, which is another thing to keep in mind, which goes very well paired with Eddie. Was it Eddie? I think it's Eddie. Oh my god, my brain's fried now. I'm pretty sure it's Eddie who reduces healing. And she also raises armor up, so her skills are pretty solid. HP, armor, effect hit, those are definitely going to be the areas you want to work on, especially effect hit, to make that charm hit everybody. I mean, it basically makes them they can't act. Which is why Bell of Chaos definitely needs to go on her. If not, whatever you think. Oracle, the attacks, but Bella Chaos, definitely, 1000%. The only thing worth keeping in mind for these heroes is that a lot of them don't seem like they're very good in the beginning, but if you beef them up and equip them right and pretty much try to put on the things I was mentioning, they can be freaking ridiculous. People like Satan and Anna, they're not really just, begin game, they're end game too. Like, you can use them for a while. I mean, her effect hit doesn't seem to charm as much later on because, you know, you're taking on beefed up people that have resistances to it, but she's still very viable. And yeah, so that's basically Darks. Next up, we're gonna do Supermen, which this one will be fun because those S pluses, like, I love equally, so I don't even know how I'm gonna rate those three. But that'll be next video, so forget that for now. Alright, peace.